A blessed day, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. And our lesson for today is the continuation of how to learn MySQL commands, lesson number 2. So let us check first the list of commands that we're going to execute today. So first is the create table. This is to create a new table inside the database. Number 2 is describe table. This is to show the table fields. Number 3, alter table and rename. This is to rename the table name that we created. Okay, number 4, alter table, add field name. This is to add fields in the created table. Number 5, alter table, drop field name. This is to drop fields in the created table. And last is drop table name. This is to drop created table. Okay, so let's try this commands in our command prompt. Okay, so let us use the change directory command and backslash, and following the previous command is change directory, going to XAMPP folder, backslash MySQL subfolder, backslash and bin, and enter. So once you're in, you execute MySQL -u root -p, then press enter. Okay, and press enter. So make sure that your XAMPP is already up like this one before you can execute your command prompt codes. Okay, so let us again try the show databases just to check the list of databases that we have here. So we're going to create a new database here. So the command is create database, and the database name is studentdb for student database, and press enter, and the query is okay. So to check that is show databases for us to check if we created our database, and here we able to create our student database. So once done, let us show tables just to check if there's a table, or let us use that database first, student db, for us to enter inside the student db. Now once we are inside the student database, let us check show tables just to check if there's a table. So the database has no tables yet, so we're now going to create a table here. To create our table, the command is create table, and the table name, we think of student record as our table name, and open parenthesis to input our fields. The first field is ID, and we declare that as integer and having 5 digits, and we declare this as not null, and also as auto increment, and as our primary key. So once done, place a comma for the next field, and we think of last name for the second field, and we declare this as varchar for character having last name, having like for example 15. And next field would be the first name, and also bar char. And let us declare, since we have names, longer names, we declare this as 20. And next is the middle initial. Okay, then we declare that also as bar char. And let us place 2 digits there and close parenthesis and semicolon once done with your command, and press enter. And let us check this. Okay, so the query is okay. That means we able to create our table. To check our new table, the command is show tables under student database and semicolon, press enter, and you have there your student record table. Okay, so if we want to add another table, we just need to command the same command. Okay, type the same command, like we're going to create another table, create table, and the table name, we think of student course, like for example, and again open parenthesis, then uh, the let us think of the field course field. Okay, course name, then that is bar char, then let us place that as 15. And next is like subject and bar char, and also let us make that as 15. And if we're done with this, let us assume that we're done with this, and close parenthesis and semicolon. Okay, press enter, and the query now again is okay. So that means we able to create a second table. So to check the new table, just type show tables. Okay, so here we have now 2 tables. Okay, so how about if we're going to check the content of our tables? So we're going to type describe and the table that we would like to know the information inside. Okay, so let us check student course first. Describe. Okay, describe student course and semicolon. So it will show you the created table and the fields that we had created earlier. Here we created subject and course, right? So how about we check the content and information about the student record? Okay, so here in our command, type again describe student, this time the record describe student record semicolon, then press enter. And we created earlier here the ID, the last name, the first name, and the middle initial. Okay, so we are successful creating our tables and the table fields. Okay, so the third command is rename. How can we rename our table name? So the command is, let us type here alter, then alter table, and the table name that we would like to rename. let us try the student record. Yeah, so alter table student record, we're going to rename that, then press enter without semicolon, and now type rename. So rename the student record, the previous name, to what? The new name, student info. Like for example, we would like to change it as a student info. Okay, then semicolon, and press enter, and the query is okay. So let us check if we able to change or rename the name of our table. Show tables, and press semicolon and press enter, and here the previous student course that we have here is now renamed as student info. Okay, so that's the command to rename your table if you would like to rename your table. Okay, now let us go to our fourth command, which is we're going to add fields. Okay, so to add, the command is alter table, and we're going to add field in our student info. Add table to student info. Okay, then press enter. So like for example, we would like to add age. Age, then age is integer, correct? Then age would be having just 2 digits, and once done, press semicolon and enter. Okay, so that means the query is okay. We're able to add new field. Okay, let us check. So to check is to describe student info as our table that we're going to describe. And there you go, we able to add age here. So if you want to add another field, you just do the same command. Okay, so let us check if we can go to the last command. So what if we would like to drop the field? Okay, so let us do that, and the command is alter table, and the table name student info, press enter, and drop what, like for example age. Okay, the ones that we added, the name, the field age, drop age, then press semicolon. Okay, and enter. Okay, so our query is okay. That means we able to drop, and to check if we're successful on that, we are going to describe uh, student info. Okay, and check if you're able to drop that. Okay, so as you can see, we only have ID, last name, first name, middle initial, as compared to the earlier command here that we have this age. Okay, but now when we drop, we able to drop the age field. Okay, so how about we would like to drop the table? Okay, so let us first show tables just to check the existing tables. We have 2 existing tables, and we would like to drop the table here, student course. Like for example, we we don't want that table, and the command is just drop student course. Okay, so just make sure that you want to delete, ensure that you want to delete the table before you do that. And if you're sure enough, just press enter here, and there is an error, student course. Yeah, so we need to drop and declare that as table. We're going to drop table and the name of the table, student course. So that's our error. Okay, so once sure with the dropping of the table, press enter, and the query is now okay and successful. So to finally check if you're able to drop the table, we are going to use this show tables and press enter, and there you go, we only have one table here. Okay, so uh, right now we able to execute all the 6 given commands here in MySQL. Okay, and I hope you learn some additional commands in MySQL in our lesson number 2. So thank you so much, and see you for our next lesson, lesson number 3 for advanced commands.